little bit deeper today. And try to really just keep your focus on your breath. So inhaling, expanding the belly. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. Inhaling, peace. Exhaling, worry. Inhaling, relaxation. Exhaling, discomfort. Inhaling, peace. Exhaling, anxiety. So as you continue to breathe deeply, if it feels good for your body, go ahead and just start to slowly move the knees slightly from side to side. So just a gentle, kind of subtle range of motion, beginning to windshield wiper the legs from right to left. Starting to awaken your legs, the muscles around your hips, into your trunk. And you can turn your head to the opposite side of your knees if that feels good for you. Or you can just keep your eyes looking up towards the ceiling or closed. Just start to move as it feels good for your body, and don't worry about how far you go or if you're doing exactly the same thing as me. Just do what works for your body. And take about a couple more passes on either side. Trying to coordinate that movement a little bit with your breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing your knees back into the center. Take one more cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. And then just take a brief moment to set an intention for your practice today. Breathing into it. And then on your next exhale, pull one or both knees into your chest and just start to slowly rock your knees from side to side, massaging out your low back. If that feels good, you can maybe make some circles with your low back on the mat, one direction and then the other direction. And maybe rock back from side to side. And then we'll set the legs back down, feet on the mat, arms down at the sides this time. Feet about hips distance apart. On an inhale, let your hips float off the mat. As you exhale, hold, maintain bridge pose. Inhale again. Exhale. Lower the hips down. Good. This time, inhale, float the hips. If it works for you, float your toes. Exhale, hold. Inhale. Exhale, lower hips, lower feet. Good. Again, inhale, float your hips, float your toes. Exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, release the hips, release the toes. Good, one last time. Inhale, float your hips, float your toes. Lift your chin slightly so you're keeping that space. Holding and breathing. One more in breath, noticing the activation in your legs. And exhale, release everything. Take your right leg, find a figure 4 position over your left. So opening up through the hip and knee. We're gonna keep our left foot on the mat, and we'll try that bridge pose with this figure 4 option. So as you inhale, you'll float the hips up. So pressing into the left foot, just lifting up as high as you feel comfortable. Breathing. One more inhale. As you exhale, release the hips down. And then go ahead and draw your legs in. And just rock gently from side to side, or take any other movements that feel good. So it might feel good to bend and straighten your left knee. Feeling a little openness into the hamstrings, back of that left thigh. Maybe a little bit of rocking, maybe some ankle circles would feel good here. Kind of doing what works for your body. Good. As you exhale, slowly release those legs down, uncross that right leg, and then switch sides. Left is going to come into that figure 4 over the right. Let that knee fall out to the side. On your inhale, press into the right foot, lift your hips high. Bridge modification. Just going as far as you feel comfortable, breathing. On your next exhale, release the hips down and draw the legs into the chest, grabbing behind your right thigh, and just rocking gently from side to side. Bending and straightening the right knee, finding some length into the back of the right thigh. Good. Go ahead and slowly uncross the legs. This time pull the knees into the chest again, but take them a little bit wider towards either shoulder. And just start to rock side to side one last time, massaging out that low back. And then we'll start to rock lengthwise along the spine here, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then when you feel ready, you can cross at the ankles and press into tabletop. And if you're not comfortable getting up that way, please feel free to roll to your side. Once you're in tabletop, just start to begin to shift your weight towards your hands. And then as you exhale, shift your weight back towards your feet. Eventually, maybe walking your hands a little bit more forward, dropping the front of the hips down, coming into cobra on your inhale. And then extended child's pose on your exhale. Those don't work for you today. You can also move into cat and cow. So remember, we're doing a good job of listening to our bodies and what our bodies need right now. This is a non-competitive practice. There's no judgment for what works for your body. Trying our best to link movement with breath, inhaling to cow or cobra, exhaling cat, extended child's pose. Let's take 3 more cycles at our own pace. Inhale to cobra or cow, exhale cat, extended child's pose. Feel free to take time in either of those poses if you need that today. One more cycle. Inhale, cow or cobra. Exhale, cat. Extended child's pose. We'll pause here in extended child's pose. Take 3 nice deep belly breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Good, make your way up to tabletop. From tabletop, we'll inhale the right arm up, turning our chest to the right, gazing up at that right hand, and then exhale for thread the needle. So that right hand will dive under the left, shoulder blade and cheek to the mat, hips stay lifted. Option for a partial bind. That works for your practice today. Otherwise, you're going to keep that left hand on the mat and put a little pressure into it. Good. As you inhale, releasing that partial bind if you took it. And taking that right arm, reaching it all the way back up. And as you exhale, setting it down. Coming back to tabletop, we'll inhale the left arm up, turning our chest to the left. Exhale, dive it under the right, thread the needle, side 2. Pressing gently into that right hand or bringing that right hand around to the left hip crease for a partial bind. Breathing deeply into that trunk rotation. When you're ready, slowly releasing from that bind if you took it, setting that right hand back down. Deep breath in. Left arm floats all the way up. And then exhale, slowly coming back to that tabletop position. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears as much as you can. So really lengthening the neck. Top of the head is forward and belly is in. We'll extend through the right leg. So right toes are going to reach back. And keep the toes on the floor, but straighten that knee. Come over to your left hand and knee for modified half moon. So once again, we're opening our front body to the right wall, reaching right fingertips up to the sky. A little bit of balancing here. If it works for you, you can float that top leg. As you do that, think about flexing the foot on the right and then pressing back through your heel just slightly so you can feel a little bit more activation in the right glute and outer hip. Good, pause and breathe. We'll take that right leg, we'll step it all the way forward towards the top edge of our mat and come up to low lunge. Flipping that long edge of the mat if we need a little bit of extra padding under our kneecap. As we come up to low lunge, notice what your knee over ankle alignment position is on that front leg. So you'll try your best to maintain that good alignment in your knee. Think about tucking the pelvis under a little bit, or the tailbone under, pressing the front of that left hip forward. And then as you exhale, we'll take a twist to the right. You can anchor that left hand on the outside of your right knee. Keep taking your gaze back towards your right hand. Good, pause and breathe. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale both hands to the mat on the instep of that right foot. And then just start to press your weight front to back, opening into the hips a little bit more, if that's available to you today. Good, from here we'll come into lizard pose. So bringing that right foot out to the side, dropping the front of the left hip down, letting that right knee fall out to the side, coming down to forearms if that is in our practice, or staying on a straight elbow. If you came down to your forearms, come back to your hands, and we'll take that right hand, just set it on the inside of the right knee or inner thigh, and then turn and look to the right. Good. As you exhale, slowly come out of it. Step that right leg all the way back, come back to hands and knees, tabletop. Take a couple rounds of cat and cow at your own pace. And when you're ready, coming back to that tabletop position. Once again, lengthening the spine, belly draws in, shoulders fall away from the ears. Notice some activation in the low belly. On an inhale, reach your left toes back, straightening your left knee. As you exhale, come over to your right hand and knee for modified half moon, side to left. Opening up to the left wall with our entire front body, reaching through those left fingertips, micro bend in the right elbow. If it works for you, float that left leg. Once again, as you lift the left leg, flex the foot, press the heel slightly back so you feel some activation at the back of the hip. Gaze can be up or down or to that left wall. Pause and breathe. As you exhale, slowly take that left leg, step it all the way forward towards the top edge of your mat, and inhale to low lunge. Tucking the tailbone under, pressing the front of that right hip forward. And as you exhale, twist to the left. Anchoring your right hand on the outside of your left knee, turning your gaze back towards your left hand. Good, inhale, sweep both arms up. As you exhale, take both hands down to the mat or on either side of the foot and just start to shift your weight front to back here, opening into the hip a little bit more, the hamstrings. And then we'll eventually take both hands to the instep of the left foot and set up for lizard pose. So you can walk that left foot out a little bit more, kind of rocking out to the outer edge of the foot. Can come down to the forearms here if you have that hip flexibility. Otherwise, you're staying on a straight elbow, trying to let the front of that right hip drop down. If you came down to forearms, go ahead and walk your hands back up. And then we'll set the left hand just on the inside of the left knee or inner thigh, and then turn our gaze to the left for a little bit of rotation here. Pressing that left knee gently out to the side. On your exhale, slowly allow that knee to come back in. Toe heel that left foot in. Set both hands on the mat and step back to tabletop. Walk your hands more forward towards the top edge of your mat. Curl your toes under. Lift your sit bones up and back and come into your first downward facing dog. So we'll spend a minute or two in down dog. If you don't like down dog, you can take tabletop, you can move into child's pose or a variation. So just whatever you choose, make it work for you. But we'll spend a little bit of time here. So just kind of, we've done some hip opening, kind of seeing how the back of the legs feel, maybe pedaling out the feet a little bit. Dropping a knee one at a time into the center might feel good. We're just gonna do what naturally feels good for your body today. Maybe you just spend a little bit of time in down dog and then you go to child's pose. Moving and breathing, our focus for today. Trying to do it in a mindful way. So if you notice that your mind starts to wander to other things, do your best to bring it back to the breath. And then once you've pedaled out your dog or you've done all of the modifications that you might do in down dog, then we'll settle back into some stillness. I want you to think about lifting the sit bones up and back, pressing firmly into your hands, spreading your fingers wide, turning your elbow creases towards each other. As you lift your sit bones up and back, let the knees and the ankles fall wherever they fall, lengthening the back of the legs. Good. When you feel ready, go ahead and step your left foot through. And then we're going to keep our right leg back and turn around so we're coming into a wide leg forward fold. So you're going to keep a nice wide stance on your mat. Your feet can be initially parallel to each other, but eventually we'll turn the toes slightly inward. So as you come into this wide leg fold, I want you to think about just shifting your weight from toes to heels a few times. Kind of opening into the low back, opening into the back at the thighs. And then let's walk our hands over towards the right leg. Direct some breath into the back of that thigh. And then we'll walk our hands back into the center and pause here. And then switching sides, walking your hands over to side 2. And then slowly releasing back to center. On your in-breath, lift up halfway to a flat back. So you can do this in monkey pose with your fingertips tented or your hands tented, top of the head forward. Without a block, that might be too much. So if you need a little bit of support, you can bring your hands to your shins. But you're coming into that flat back position, and I want you to think about pressing your weight back towards your heels. So you're feeling some activation in the belly, maybe the back of the legs a little bit. And then as you exhale, wide leg fold one more time. We'll turn the left toes back towards the front edge of our mat. Slowly walk our hands around to straddle our left foot. Press off the back leg and step it forward. So we're towards the top of our mat. Here we'll grab opposite elbows and just sway gently from side to side in a forward fold. Bending our knees generously. Good, releasing your fingertips to dangle down towards the floor. Bend your knees, come up nice and slow, kind of pedaling out your feet if you need to as you come to stand. And then we'll take mountain pose at the top edge of our mat. Turning the palms forward, broadening across the collarbones. Activating between the shoulder blades, pulling the belly in. Blink your eyes closed here for a few breaths. Notice how you feel in standing. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. Take a little back bend. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Again, inhale, sweeping the arms up. Tightening your glutes. Take a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, inhale, sweeping the arms up. This time, find a steeple grip over your head. Reach through your first fingers and your thumbs, and then exhale, tipping to the right side. Grounding into both feet, but especially that left one. Inhale, raise back up to the center, lengthen the side bodies, and then exhale, tip to the left. Good, inhale, come all the way back up to the center. One last time, steeple grip, lengthening. Think about lengthening and reaching through the side bodies, growing up tall from the ground up. And then as you exhale, take a big swan dive. So release your hands, lead with your heart, forward fold. Riding the breath all the way down. Inhale, come up to a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Pause and plank and breathe. Inhale, belly in. Exhale, hold. Good, one more inhale. Set your knees down on the mat. Exhale to chaturanga. Pausing in that low push-up position. Release to your tummy. Inhale, find baby cobra. Gliding the mat back, lifting your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Head and neck in line with your spine, breathing deeply, looking forward. Walker step to the top of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms up over your head, little back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Pause. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 2 breaths. Looking forward, walker step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, little back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward, warrior 2. Gaze over the right hand. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Pull the belly in, tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, straighten your right knee. Exhale, reach through your right hand as far as you can. And then drop that right hand towards the shin or the ankle, triangle. You're imagining your entire back body connecting to a wall behind you. Good, we're gonna take that left hand, release it all the way down towards the right foot, or towards our other hand, if that works. And then we're gonna inhale and float it all the way back up. So opening our chest to that left wall. Good, exhale, send that left arm down. Hands come together, approximately. Inhale, left arm up, and pause. Reach through the left fingertips. Good, bend into that right knee, reverse warrior. You'll sweep that left arm back. Back palm will face, or right palm will face the back wall this time. Big giant side stretch, knee is bent on that front leg. As you exhale, if you want, half moon. You'll launch off the back leg onto your front leg. You can place your right hand on the floor or an object behind you, but we're trying to open, once again, that chest to the left wall. Foot is flexed on the lifted leg. To come out of it, release that lifted leg all the way to the mat. Hands plant. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. If you need a breather, child's pose for a few breaths. Notice how you feel. Recall your intention. When you're ready, left leg high. 3-legged dog. Big exhale, step it forward, warrior 2. Arms are spread nice and wide, gaze is over that left hand, tailbone points to the floor. soft tops of the shoulders, and breathe. Inhale to straighten the left knee. Exhale, reach as far as you can through those left fingertips. When you can't reach anymore, let that hand come down to the ankle or the shin. Float the right arm up for triangle. Remember, there's that imaginary wall that you're trying to connect your back body to. So it's okay to be up higher on your lower leg or your bottom leg. Good. As you exhale, right hand is going to come to the left hand or that left ankle or leg. And then we'll inhale and open up, just like you're opening up a book, rotating your trunk. Exhale, come down again. Following that hand with your eyes. Inhale, open up. Back body connects to that imaginary wall. Good. Last time. Exhale. Inhale, open. Reach through those fingertips. Bending into that front knee. As you exhale, reverse warrior. Palm faces that back wall. Knee is bent on your front leg. Spread those toes wide on your left foot. Breathing into the left side body. If you'd like, inhale. As you exhale, half moon, bouncing on your front leg. Launching off that back foot. Fingertips can come to the floor or an object nearby. Lifted leg is flexed. Gaze can be down towards the floor, or for a challenge, turn your gaze to the right. Trying your best to open to that right wall. Good. As you're ready, release is slow. Stretch that lifted leg all the way back. Plant both hands. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. And release is extended child's pose or traditional child's pose. Stack your hands if you'd like and set your forehead there, or tuck your arms back at your side. Connect with your breath again. So 2 options as we move into our final relaxation today. If you're comfortable on your stomach, we're going to take crocodile pose. If that does not sound appealing to you, you can come into your traditional shavasana on your back, similar to how we started our practice today. So to set up for crocodile, you'll walk down to your stomach. Kind of turn your toes out to the side. A little bit wider, so kind of the width of your mat. You'll stack your hands, and then you'll set your forehead on your hands and breathe into the low belly. So if you don't spend a lot of time on your stomach, it might feel good. It might not feel good, so just listen to your body. What's nice about laying on our stomachs is as we inhale, we can really feel the belly expand into the mat. As we exhale, we can slowly draw the breath in, bringing the belly in towards our spines. So do that a few times. Just really mindfully breathing into the low belly, just like we did at the beginning of the practice today. Inhaling, belly expands into the earth. Exhaling, the belly draws in to you. Let any last remaining tension go. Take 1 or 2 cleansing breaths. Let go of any last feelings, negative feelings or emotions. Bring your awareness to your breath. Allow yourself to be here, present on your mat for a few moments. Blinking your eyes closed or lowering your gaze. Scan the body. If you notice tension or resistance, direct some breath to those areas. And do your best to let go. When you feel ready, you can slowly begin to deepen your breath. Depending on if you're on your stomach or your back, you can open and close your hands. Just kind of bring some gentle movement into your body. And then choose a side to roll over onto, curling up there for a moment.